so our next position, we'll start working on what happens when our opponent hits a head outside single. So just to cover, we're working on a head inside single where our opponent's head's inside, and the head inside single will be on this side as well. Here, typically, especially on myself being a right leg lead, most guys are right leg wrestlers, so we're gonna hit a high C this side of the body. So we'll start here for that purpose. Now, same thing, everything that I just showed with the straight leg, bent leg, my movement with my hands, my position with my hands, it all translates over to this high C side. So all these should be a lot quicker, and we should move a lot quicker through here, knowing everything translates to both sides of the body. Okay, so if he's starting in right here on the leg, I want to bump him with his backhand. Okay, bump with the backhand, cover, I'm going to hit him in the belly. Same thing applies. So even if he's here on a single leg, backhand, cover, belly, here, backhand, cover, belly. Okay, so once we put a lot of repetition in on the single leg, where we're just bumping here, we're stuffing, bumping, and stuffing, nothing changes. It's just the only thing that changes is the leg he's on, and that leg goes back. So the single leg, my left leg goes back. I see my right leg goes back. Okay, so that's kind of the drill. Okay, recognizing what leg he's on and where we want the head. So single leg, left hand, keep the head inside. If the head's outside, I want to keep it on the outside. Okay, so backhand, high C, backhand hits. Okay, now what I like is about the high C is when I'm in wrestling position here, he takes a shot, I can typically make contact with the head. And I'll flare the shot off before he even gets to me, okay? So I'll hit here, I see stuff here, and I already start to beat this corner, okay? The hands in the belly, I run a corner, okay? I'll explain, there's a few differences as we go through here, but for the most part, all the positions are the same, okay? Shoelaces down, hand in the belly, hand on the head. So everything really just gets simplified once you kind of learn the system. Everything's real simple. Single leg, hands, high C, sliding off, okay? I'm always sliding off, sliding my hips off his body, okay? I'm gonna stay up here. He can re-penetrate and bring me up, okay? I don't wanna stay too low without sliding off. I see, slide to the other side of the body. Backhand hits, replace hands, belly, shoelaces down, slide. Okay, and we just keep sliding our hips off his body. Backhand, near him. And then once you kind of learn it, especially some of you guys that maybe do boxing, a little striking, it's just a combination with our hands. Okay, so no matter what the leg is, it's a combination. I'm just doing that combination over and over again. Over and over again, I'm hitting. Single leg. Okay, you can hit a pose. Beat the song, I still go find it. Okay, he can beat me inside, I'm lazy over the top. He can beat it over the top, I go find it. Okay. However, if he gets to it, I go find the head. I always go find it first. And that sets me back up for my position. Left leg, go find the head, position, belly, slide. Okay, now, one difference we do on the single leg, okay, it's single, as we start progressing forward, we slide, cover the head, okay. Now on a high C, there's a little variation, okay. We just push the head, we slide, okay. Now we can hit a corner, or we can still cover the head, okay? Push, slide, and we cover the head here. And now we're kind of back in this front headlock where we're reaching for hamstrings, we're looking for the butt, we're looking for ankles. If he starts building back up to his feet, circling, we're running him down. We start losing, we're securing that front headlock again, and it's kind of built back into the system where once you learn all these positions, it just becomes habit, okay? My hands hit, run corner, okay? Hands hit, cover head, run corner. Okay, sometimes I run short side, okay? I'll kind of explain that here. I stuff, I smell, sometimes I run the short side. Other times, I'll cover the head and run long side. Okay, this kind of depends on how my opponent's reacting to Sometimes, especially if you leave this trail leg up, here, I'll run long side. Okay, if you leave this side up, or maybe both sides are down, I guess, here, I'll run short side. Long side. And again, my hands. And I can go a lot quicker through this series now because we've established everything in that high seated single. Hands, belly, I'm not short. Maybe he squares up. Stuff. I try to run a corner either direction. He builds his feet. I'm running something down. He circle, 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 circle. I cover back and front head. Short. Okay? And the great thing about this is I feel like it's little effort, it's positioning. Your partner's gonna put all the work in, and you're just learning the positions and putting the wear and tear on. Okay, so to go back on some of our rules, our defense, our feet don't leave the mat, and our butt or hips don't touch the mat. So for Mike's finish on a high C, a lot of guys are finishing down low. So he's gonna crack me down my butt here. Look, I sit in my butt, okay? If my hands don't make it to the position that we've been working on, then I probably haven't put enough reps in because it's an instinct and it's muscle memory. Every time the guy hits a shot, my hand should end up on the belly and on the head, okay? So if my hand doesn't end up in the belly, the only hope is I can sit the corner, okay? But his shoulder's in position, and that's not gonna happen here. I'm gonna get finished and scored on him. Okay, so as we go back to the position, he shoots. As we build our muscle memory, I hit the head here, and he goes to crack me out. I may sprawl and straighten my leg, and I may fall here, okay? My hand that's on the head can leave, okay? It can leave the head as a post, okay? And I like to really emphasize staying off both butt cheeks here, okay? Once I'm on both butt cheeks, I'm kind of planted. I stay up on one butt cheek, my outside leg's up, so it's driving, okay? It's keeping my butt off the mat, and this hand on the belly is staying tight in, okay? So this gives me leverage, just gives me a place to wrestle, gives me options, okay? My foot, I always focus on the shoelace staying on the hip, just like on the single leg. So if he came up to both knees, just for structure, right there, okay? Shoelaces in the foot. So if he goes to elevate over, step over, I can block, okay? I can hold him in this position here, okay? So the first thing I want to do, as he cracks us down, we're just going to learn to pose, use this belly hand, and regain our position back, okay? And we'll go from the top. As he hits, I hit the head, belly, I get stuck here. As soon as I hit, it's almost like my butt hits the trampoline. I'm going to, boom, I'm going to spring back up, okay? And not every time am I going to be able to throw this guy off, but it's that first initial hit, I'm popping right back to my position, okay? But once I get stuck here, we have to go different routes, okay? I can't just pop them off from here. I gotta do some different things. So right away from the top, as soon as I'm stuck and I'm sprawling, I may be sprawling really hard. I sit, I gotta post and lift, okay? As I lift, with this belly hand, I lift him off, my head goes across, and this leg can't stay underneath or it's just gonna collapse me again, okay? This leg's gotta get back and square my hips back up, okay? And the best time to do this, as soon as he's cracking you down, you really resist the position here and come back up. Okay, and this isn't possible without the belly hand. If I sprawl here, my hand goes in the back, I'm not regaining my position, okay? So the belly hand is really important on the high crotch to defend this finish. I sprawl, I come back up. So now I can cover the head, or I can run short side. Meet his head, deflect him a little, change my hands, sprawl, like I said, working my way back up. Now, I focus on shoelaces down, just like on the single leg. I sprawl slowly, I sprawl. Right here, I can lose my balance, I can tip, I can stay up with my shoelaces down, okay? Not every time am I gonna let him sit into my butt. I try to avoid it, okay? If I can avoid going to my butt, it's better. Sprawl, he goes, I post, I hop. Okay? So without a partner, it looks a lot like this. I'm gonna sprawl, straight leg, bent leg, sprawl, okay? My hand will be on the belly and the head. Okay, and as he goes to sit me, okay, I'm gonna post, I'm gonna hop my shoelaces down and keep driving. Remember, our trail leg or our back leg, we use it to steer us. So I can push myself back around and square my hips. I sprawl, he goes to crack me down. I use the spine and I keep curling right here. We talked about curling heel to our butt. I keep it straight back, curl it back around, and I walk all the way around. And what that does is, when he's cracking me down, it's extending his lock around. So pay attention to Mike's lock. As I sprawl, his lock's in tight to his body. Now watch as I get sat here. Okay, I'm gonna just keep working his lock out the front over his head. And then here I can slide to the armpit and go score. So if I can anticipate that crackdown, it puts me in a great position to finish because I extend them and I create an angle all by defending the crackdown. From the head, sprawl. And I'm gonna run around it. Okay, I keep that, control that lat, my armpit, as I run spin. Sorry. As I break that lock, I keep control this and keep his head in the mat as I run my corner. So again, just to kind of go back through, on the stuff sprawl, boom, back up. Hands, sprawl, I'm heavy, heavy, heavy. I can post if I lose my balance. My head's up, my head can be across, okay? And I just want to keep working that lock around, okay? If I don't put my shoelaces in the mat, or if I leave my knee bent, watch the difference. I put my toe in the mat, cracks me down. I can't slide my foot around, okay? And if I keep my knee bent, crack, I can't, I'm in trouble, okay? So that's why we focus on the fundamentals in these positions and stuffing legs straight. So it's the same as a single leg. Single, stuff, straight, 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 straight. Okay, this trail leg, this trail leg is moving me. This leg is moving with me. Okay, high C, same thing. I'm here. He don't have to really crack me down, but I can use it to cover his head. His head's high. Here, I'm pushing the head up. I can cover it. Here, okay? And most guys, as soon as their head starts going down on high C, they're crashing. They're committing to that crackdown. So as soon as I make contact with his head, they're crashing me, okay? So I gotta anticipate that every time when I stuff that head that I may be going to my hip, okay? I see. And around. And if you hear your foot making that sound, you know you're doing the position right, okay? So straight leg, bent leg, shoelaces down, feet don't leave the mat, our butt and our hips don't hit the mat. Okay, now on the high crotch, we're going to keep going through the same position, this time as he cracks us to our butt, or maybe we slip and fall to our butt. What happens when we get there and how do we recover from it? Ideally, we beat the position, we stay up, and we circle around my corner. Worst case scenario, I sprawl, and he sits in our butt, okay? Now we're back to this position. As long as my hand's in the belly here, I still have a fighting chance, okay? This position is not an ideal position. Michael's in a position where he has several different finishes, okay? One thing is I don't want to leave my hand in the mat here. Michael will plant my hand and catch it up high in my armpit or grab my wrist and just kind of pressure into me and finish, okay? So I'll use my hand here and keep my balance. But most of the time I'm grabbing high in the armpit here, okay? So a couple different finishes for Michael. If I reach around, he can hook an elbow and he can roll me up to my head. He can hop over, okay? He can swim. We call it swimming to the head. He can break through that bop and go get my head and cradle. He can jump in between my legs, split my feet here, lift my legs and finish here. He can elevate my leg right through. for a finish there, okay? So I gotta keep all this finishes in mind as I'm in this position, okay? So what I do is I catch an armpit. I don't leave my elbow up high. You can go catch my elbow and swim it, okay? I don't leave my head here. You can go get my head. I don't leave my hand in the mat. You can go grab my hand, okay? So I'm gonna grab here, okay? And now he's gonna be urgent to finish here. So as he's pressuring into me, as his hips rise, I may try and catch a lock here. If I can catch a lock here, it's better, okay? My hand's deep in the belly, I can catch a lock here. And once I'm locked, the only option Michael really has is to bring his elbow through to my lock and try and break my lock. Bring it through. Here, and break my lock and go get my head, okay? Or you can go try and hook my elbow, okay? But as long as I know those positions, I can stay right here and he can try and do either one. Go ahead. See, I'm blocking right over his tricep. Go get my elbow, go break my lock. I'm not gonna let him have any of these positions, okay? And now all I'm waiting for him is to kind of get urgent or impatient and lose his position. Yes, and now once his hips come up, I can beat him. But if I'm locked in here, I can sit tight. I can use my foot to elevate him. And I'm gonna elevate him up and come back to my base, okay? So again, from the top, I sprawl. I don't want to go down, but I get stuck here. He drops his hips on me hard. I'm tight. There's no elevating him off. I can't get him off here. Okay? I gotta wait for him to try and make his finish. As he tries to make a finish, I can go lock my hands. Now my hands are locked. I can use his foot to elevate. Okay? And I can be somewhat patient here, knowing that I understand this position and I know what he's looking for. Okay? So if he tries to step over me, I'm elevating. Okay? If he tries to swim to my elbow or to my head, break my lock, I'm standing here. Okay? Once his hips come up, maybe both knees hit the mat or his hips come up, I'm gonna push my hand, straighten my legs, and I'm gonna work my way back into that position. Okay? And it's not always gonna be real smooth. It can be smooth if he's kind of getting desperate in his finish. I can rotate back up. Maybe he's trying to step over me high. I can kick him over and come back up. But at the end of the day, I'm just reestablishing position. I'm staying patient. I wait for him to make the mistakes, and I try and get my hips squared back up. Now that we showed how our opponent's putting us in the crackdown position, I'm going to show, we call it sit in the corner. It's a tactic I can use to put myself there, but for Michael's position to finish, in a crackdown, he needs his shoulder inside my body, and I'm gonna focus on beating his shoulder before we get there. So he can shoot his high C, and I can stuff the head here and deflect him, okay? And this time instead of going to the belly, I'm kind of just gonna slide into him and drop my hip. That way his shoulder shoots past my body. Once his shoulder gets past my body, what I mean by that, he shoots his shot. See how his shoulders, we call put your shoulder in the belly button here. I'm sprawling, okay? He's in position to score because he can step up and get across, okay? He can sit me down my butt, like we just worked. Okay, but if I put the shoulder across my body, he's in trouble, okay? We call sit in the corner. So again, instead of letting him put me down, I'm gonna stuff the head, I'm gonna sit. Okay, I sit corner, the shoulder's out, okay? I have several different finishes from here, but the most simple one would just be post and just keep sitting in the corner. And we're gonna be scooting. What Michael will do here is he'll drop his hips down and away. Down, and he'll run his feet out. Run, and get back into this position. See how the shoulder made it back in? So from here, it's just kind of a race. Like a dog chasing his tail, who's gonna get to the position first? And I beat him, okay? So I'm sitting corner, he's gonna run his hips away, and we're gonna get in that little chase. Okay, and I'm gonna have the advantage here, because I want to deflect his head out, and I'm gonna beat him to that position, okay? Instead of letting him dictate me to the crackdown, I'm gonna beat him just so the shoulder's out of position and he don't have a fighting chance, okay? I see, I deflect the head, I'm here, okay? I catch in the butt, his shoulder, he's not in a bad position here, and all Michael would do, if this is an offensive to finish, he would run his feet out and run his shoulder back in, and now he's in this position, okay? My hand's out of the belly, I'll have to wrestle from here, and most likely he's gonna win this scenario. Okay, I can post and try to sit in the corner, but once you get that shoulder in, it's really difficult to reestablish this position now. Okay, so back up. shoots his high C. I want to deflect that shoulder out. Okay, I catch in the butt. Okay, and now as he runs, I'm just gonna chase him here and go score. Okay, that's just real simple. Sit in the corner and beat in the corner technique. Okay, so we're gonna put ourselves back in this crackdown position again. Sit in the corner, and I'll show you a couple different techniques as well. One, it depends on the style of wrestling. If you're wrestling freestyle, you can go in the crotch and look for a cross throw, or you can go in the crotch and use that as a vantage point to sit the corner. So high C again, I deflect from, I sit corner, okay? If I'm wrestling freestyle, I can lock you in the crotch, expose it for 2, take my 2-point exposure, okay? Collegiate style, folk style, sit here, use this crotch lift here to just kind of regain my position. He can run his hips out and I can square back up. Okay, I could even roll him through, but there's really not an advantage in folk style to roll him through here. And then I'm probably gonna get back in the front headlock. Okay, so we won't really do that unless we're in the freestyle match. So sit corner, I get in the crotch, I can step over, and then I can hit back into him. Okay, I want a cross face here because he can start powering up to the ceiling here and get back to position. Okay, so I have one thing too. I'm gonna go ahead and get back in there. On this crotch throw, in folk style, okay, a little trick I do, I go fake like I'm crotch throwing, and I use it to help me scoot corner, okay? So maybe his shoulders in a little bit, I'll act like I'm crotch throwing, I'll sit corner one time, and all I gotta do is get this T, okay? Once I get this T and beat this corner, I'm gonna elevate him up, and once I elevate him just to the breaking point, I'm gonna post, and my hand's gonna come through, okay? And most guys are gonna let go and try and roll to their belly. Not the other way. They'll try and roll with it. So as I go through him, you're gonna try and roll with it, okay? I'm gonna split the legs, okay? In an ideal situation, this would be fine because I'm gonna still score my 2. I'm gonna come up to him, and he's gonna belly out the other way. I'm gonna go finish, okay? But I use this position a lot as an opportunity not only to get 2 points, but to have back exposure, okay? I see I deflect the head, I get in the crotch here, okay? I go back and when I flip them through, I take one more, I can let go of my lock and post to make one more half turn. Once I get teed out, I can elevate them, okay? Now, I'm not this isn't gonna be a big explosive throw, okay? I'm gonna gradually start taking him over to his back, and as he starts coming up, I'm gonna post my hand, and this hand's gonna stay high. And if my hand doesn't come high, this other leg's gonna slip over my head, and I'll go get my 2, but I'm also putting myself in a scramble opportunity, okay? So what I wanna focus on, see right there, I already have him beat back, so I don't have to take the half turn. I already have the 90-degree T, here, post, and I climb up to the back. Now I'm in position for back points, okay? I call it splitting the legs, and this position, it doesn't have to be just off a high C. I can find myself in these different positions just in a scramble. Anytime I end up sitting in the corner in a scramble, go ahead. I sit in the corner in the scramble, okay? All I want to do is split his legs, okay? I'm not really concerned about doing much other than that. I want to lift him, and anytime I'm in a scramble, I think about splitting legs. What I mean by that is taking my body, my head, and an arm between his legs, and now he can't dictate which direction he goes now. He can fight down that way. I'm gonna block here, and I'm gonna climb up his body, okay? If he doesn't fight that way, he stays the other way. Here, I can just come up through still. Okay, I'm just gonna split the body. Here, it can even be off of the crackdown. He puts me in the crackdown. Here, I can go get the crotch. And right here, his shoulder's in, so I gotta lift him, scoot, lift, scoot here, back through the body. And I'm always looking for these little anchors, okay? Or I call them anchors. If I don't grab his body and I put my hands here, he's gonna slide away, create space, he's gonna take a knee across. Okay, so I'm here. He's gotta get a knee across to get to his belly, so he needs separation. So once I land here, I gotta catch here if I can, and he'll fight the other way and create more space. Now I just gotta keep sliding my knees up high, okay? In this position, if I can catch, ankle, and I'll hold him here for a count. I'll get 2 takedown and 4 back, all off the same position. If I'm just a little more patient. Some guys get excited for the 2 points here. They get excited for the 2, and they'll just come get the 2 points. Okay, I look for the opportunity to split the legs and take it to the back. Here, I take my time. Here, catch them to the back. All right, now our opponent's going to hit the high crotch. We're going to go through the same positions, the fundamentals in here one more time. As I stuff the head, belly, I sprawl. Okay, now this time Mike's going to drive up into me. I'm stuffing the head. Go ahead and drive on up. He's getting height. Okay, I'm in this position where we're kind of at a standstill, where he can crack me down, or he can take this big step to come up to his feet. Okay, and sometimes, you know, in positions when we're wrestling live, maybe we both kind of get locked in here. Okay, and maybe his leg's down, or maybe it's up. Okay, either way, I'm always looking for this outside leg to come up. Look at me down, or it comes up. Okay, but here we're kind of locked in here, where I'm in my position, he's in his position, where hands are locked. You know, like a great high C position. Hands are locked, and I'm working to fight the head down and get my leg back. Okay. Now, as we're locked in here, I like to do it once, like maybe I sprawl out a little bit and the knee collapses. The knee collapses and he drives up one time real hard, steps it up. Okay. As soon as it steps up, I'm gonna go attack the hamstring. Okay. I can grab it, but I like to go elbow deep here and catch it. Now, once I go here, I'm locking them in. I can lock my hands. I don't really need to lock my hands. I just need my hands, my belly, hands, and slide to the armpit. Here, I'm gonna work my way around. Okay, and I can look for a cradle, or I can just look to run corner. It's kind of high C and drive up into me. Yep. He's driving up to me, I can capture it. Okay, as he's driving up, here, I capture this, and I run, corner. Okay, and I kind of collapse him. As he horses up through me, I collapse that side. Here, I collapse him. Okay, now I can stay in the armpit and go get my 2, or I can let my hand slip over the head and I can take a cradle. Okay, and there's several different finishes from here. I can drive into the core hip, let him over the top. I can roll him up. But either way, as I'm sprawling here, that leg's up, I collapse it. Keep this to go behind or slip to a cradle. I can roll him up. I can look for it right away. Shoot. There it is. I can go capture it right away. My head and my chest get over the body. Capture it. Run around. I can force them into it, where I stuff them. Everything goes down. And I can let it build up, and then I can take it. Okay. Stuff. And down. Down. Knees. Here I stuff them. Then I can release pressure, let him build. As he builds, I capture, collapse that side, run corner. So you can kind of get creative with how you can set your opponent up in this position. With just beating them, learning the pressure, when to apply the pressure and when to let the pressure off. One more time. Here, right there, all I gotta do is straighten my leg. He can stay on that lock, but he can't build up into me anymore. Okay. I'm just gonna get my hips, cradle, or go take my 2 points. All right, guys, this last technique I'm gonna show, it's a real basic technique we use. It's a bump pass, and it kind of ties everything in that we've been working this whole afternoon. So, high crotch, we can do from the high crotch or single, but we're gonna start with the high crotch. Okay, we're gonna stuff, sprawl. Now, Mike's head's gonna come high and we can't stuff it. So all I'm gonna do is let this hand off the head. I'm gonna hit my forearm and bump him in. Now we're right back into our single leg position, where we're gonna sprawl back into head on the head, hand on the head, hand on the belly, straight leg, bent leg. Okay, so we'll start high C, stuff, sprawl, I can't get him down, stuff, sprawl, can't get him down, stuff, sprawl, okay? And typically you're gonna get him on the first one, okay? But just for a drill purpose, we can just go here, stuff, sprawl, stuff, sprawl, stuff, sprawl, okay? But what I'd like it to look like would be the first one with stuff, sprawl, the next one he's going flat, Okay, and then the whole series ties in together where we run a corner or however we want to finish. Okay, but straight leg, bent leg, stop, sprawl, he comes up, and we're sprawling him out and beating the position. Okay, and we can use this skill here as we develop these positions, and the more minutes, more time we put in here with our sparring and play wrestling, we'll determine what leg we're more favored. Okay, or maybe this side I'm more favored on the head inside single, so I'm gonna keep him here. I'm just gonna stay here because I don't want the head outside because I'm not comfortable there. Okay, or maybe he hits a head inside single to my right leg and I don't feel comfortable, so I kick it out to my high crouch side and then I can defend there. Okay, so we can really use this to bring things together to our best positions. Okay, and that's really what this is all about: is learning a position, finding your best positions, and finding a way to continue to put yourself there. Okay, so he can be head outside single to our back leg. We don't feel comfortable. Okay, we can stuff and sprawl right away, or we have the option, as soon as he shoots, we can bump past and get right back to our single leg defense. Okay, if he's single legs on the inside, on my lead leg, and I don't feel comfortable, I can knock to the outside, stuff, sprawl. Okay, so it's just tying everything together and remembering the fundamentals of these positions, what I'm doing with my hands, what leg's going straight, my shoelaces are down. Just learn to flow through these positions, being fluid. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you guys got something out of this lesson. Again, we went over our head inside defense, head outside defense, worked over all the positions from the partners, different finishes, different styles and techniques that he can use to finish. We try to cover most of those. Again, thanks to Mike for coming out. Mike McAldo, great partner for me today. He had to bear through the defense, and as I said, great defense puts a lot of wear and tear on your opponents, and Mike can attest to that today. I feel fresh, ready to go. He looks like he put a good work in. Anyways, I encourage you guys to check out the rest of our staff. Oklahoma State Wrestling will be on. Head coach Sean Smith, Zach Esposito, Chris Perry, and strength and conditioning with Gary Calcagno. Thanks again, guys. And for more content and information, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at tcaldwell165, and be sure to give Mike McAldo a follow.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Mike_McAldo. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.